But whatever time you give to God, I want you to know this: He will take it and do more with it than you ever thought you could. He will take it and do something, right? Finding a way to utilize our time for God is how we act like Jesus on this earth. This is how we act like Jesus. We're servants. Mary's answer of "I'm a servant," you know why that was so important? Because that's what Jesus came to do. Philippians 2, 5 through 7 says this: in your relationships with one another, have the same mindset as Christ Jesus, who being in the very nature God, did not consider equality with God something to be used for his own advantage. Rather, he made himself nothing by taking the very nature of a servant, being made in human likeness. Christ came to earth even though he was greater, even though he had all the prestige he could, even though that he deserved more, his heart was to serve. And the same thing goes. If our heart is to be like Jesus, then we have to be willing to be a servant. So when Mary says, "I'm your servant," even with the quivering lips, "I'm your servant," right? She says, "Hey, I'm acting like God. I want to be like God. I want you to have your way with me." To be like Jesus, we have to make serving with God with our time a priority, right? So look, as we talk about generosity over the next few weeks, don't dismiss it because you don't have enough money or you don't have enough time to pay your even bills or things to do that. Don't dismiss it because you don't have any talent. Don't dismiss it because you have time. I know you do, because we all have time. It's just how we organize it, right? Or should I say we all don't have time, so it's all a sacrifice, right? But we can give that. We can reorganize and we can priority to do that. And let me tell you this: if you give your time, that financial issue you're worried about, I bet it gets a lot easier, right? If you give your time that you don't even know your purpose part, I bet you that gets a lot easier, right? Because God will honor your time because he views it as a sacrifice of your thing. That God will bless you for your time because he did it for me and he did it for everyone else I know.